Yes. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Unjust.
Unjust persecutions, errors of justice.
Mm.
Unjust persecutions, errors of justice. He who is unjustly persecuted, convicted, or imprisoned is he who, in a past life or even in the present one, has through malice, greed, or indifference caused others to be deprived unjustly of their liberty. He suffers captivity and its horrors of diseases, of an enfeebled body, of
Vitiated.
vitiated morals,
Vitiated.
so- vitiated morals, so that he may experience and sympathize with such sufferings and may avoid false accusation or causing others to be coerced and to lose their liberty and health. So if it is a lesson for him to correct himself to go through
Yeah.
all this. Many are today the victims of errors of justice who deserve this galling fate because of the wantonness. What is this wantonness? I never heard
Desire.
this word.
Desire. Desire.
Desire. Okay. Because of the desire with which they discharged their duties while they had power, sat in the judgment seat, or refrained through indolence or selfishness from doing what they might have done to bring about fair judgment. The wardens of prisons, of poorhouses and insane asylums, the guardians of infants, in short, all in whose charge are placed the life, health, and fate of others are held to account for their acts. Okay, where is it? Yeah. Uh, yeah, judgments. Okay, here. Strictest account for their acts and omissions in the performance of their duty. So when they did not do their duty to take care of all these people, prisons, asylums, insane asylums, guardians of infants, neglect, rancor, or venality in the discharge of one's duty will draw him inevitably into the position of his victims, there to undergo the wrongs he has done or has allowed to be done to them. Escape for a day or for a life is not escape forever. Escape for a day or for a life is not escape forever. Special case of
Now,
physical
basically,
retribution.
people who say, I'm lucky I got out of it and all, it is highlighting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, yeah, if you hurt somebody in that period, even for a day, you cannot escape it. Yes.
Correct. It will come back to you.
Special case
That's why.
physical retribution. A special case of physical retribution is that of a congenital idiot. His condition is the result of past actions in many lives in which there have been only physical indulgences of the appetites actions, which are all debits and no credits. The congenital idiot has no drawing account. All physical credits have been used up. He is likely to be the last appearance of an indefinite period of a portion of the doer in human form. He is likely to be the last appearance of an indefinite period of a portion of the doer in human form.
What is congenital idiot?
By birth.
Congenital by birth.
Oh, okay, so though, okay. Uh, challenging person. Intellectually
Yes.
challenging person. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A physical deformities at the birth.
Oh.
Before this last appearance, the doer has lived many lives of depravity and decadence in neglected districts of cities or in the country among peons, cretins, and the backward dwellers on mountainsides. Finally, it comes the last appearance as a hopeless idiot. The chief producing causes of this fate are sexual abuses, narcotics, and drunkenness. Such an anomaly as an idiot who has someone faculty abnormally developed is the remnant of a man who has indulged the senses and the abnormalities of sex, but who but who has carried on the study of one particular subject, such as music or mathematics, and devoted himself to that. I didn't quite understand. Such an anomaly,
No,
okay,
read that whole thing. Before his last appearance, before this last appearance, the doer has lived many lives of depravity and decadence in neglected districts of cities or in country, among peons, cretins, and the backward dwellers on mountainsides. Finally comes the last appearance as a hopeless idiot. So, hopeless idiot is talking about could potentially be the last arrival on the physical earth.
Human birth.
Yeah. The chief producing causes of this fate, why this fate, are sexual abuses, narcotics, and drunkenness. Such an anomaly as an idiot who has some one faculty abnormally developed is the remnant of a man who has indulged the senses and the abnormalities of sex, but who has carried on the study. So basically, he has lived a life in which there are abnormalities, but on one subject, he has stayed completely concentrated. Okay. So that is the reason why this develops. Got it?
So even though, yeah, he is good at music or mathematics, but he has some
majority
issues
of his life he is deprived of everything. There is only one skill that he would have completely dedicated himself to.
Yeah, got it. Yes. So idiots, congenital or otherwise, become so by the withdrawal of the doer portion from the human as a result of opportunities persistently neglected or misused. So finally, the doer withdrawal happens.
Correct.
When he neglects and misuses. With the doer portion goes the light of the intelligence also. Okay. The span of life of every human is already determined at the close of his previous life, but the period may be sometimes lengthened or shortened. So we determine, even taking the before the next life also, we in this life, at the end of this life, we determine, it seems.
That's what he's saying, yeah. Yeah, Kirti.
So, but
Sir, I have this question. So the previous para, it says that that person is dedicating only to one skill. That means we shouldn't be doing that? Like we should be developing more?
No, he is not saying that. He says towards the end of all the cycle of births, you may end up dedicating your time only to one particular skill set. See, this is a special case of physical retribution. Okay. So his condition is the result of past actions in many lives. So as we leave little portions of lessons unfinished, we take that approach. Yeah.
The length of the span was marked on the form of the breath form at death, and that impresses the sign on the first cell with which the building of the new body begins. Accordingly, a coil is developed in the astral body by elementals. The coil will let a certain amount of life force pass, namely enough for the span of the person's life. Oh, this is how person determines the next lifespan.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
all this information is stored in that first cell, the new
Mm.
body of this first. Span of the life, manner of death.
Mm.
The length of the span is predetermined so as to let the person do the work and pass through the events called for by his destiny. The length of the span is predetermined so as to let the person do the work and pass through the events called for his by destiny. Within the span, he generates new thoughts, does or refuses to do the work, makes new destiny, and he puts off some minor events. In a general way, the course of his life and the salient events and the time within which he must finish are laid out for him. But he has choice as to how he will act in details and with what mental attitude he will view these salient events. The manner of death is physical destiny and is already predetermined at the end of the preceding life. So the manner of the death also determined before. There is one exception, suicide. The mere disposition to commit suicide is predetermined, but even in that case, the man can choose whether or not he will die by his own hand. He may have contemplated the act and refused to do it, but if he continues to think and plan about suicide, the predetermined tendency, together with his continued thinking, will be exteriorized in the act of self-murder. By committing suicide, one does not escape from the allotted span of life or from the sorrow, dread, pain, or disgrace he feared to endure by living on. Death by one's own hand is not like the ordinary case of dying. In the case of self-murder, the doer remains with the breath form in the radiant state of the physical plane, experiencing all the dreaded to meet in life, and does not go into the after-death states until after the allotted span of life ends. So, until
So
he
whether a
finishes
lesson
what
is complete or incomplete is judged by this act.
so until he finishes the rest of the life, suppose what he's supposed to have, he no, he cannot go into after death states.
Yeah, he
In the next
cannot, no,
life,
because, yeah,
I have a
the
question
circle.
here, sir.
yeah.
So it
Mhm.
says that the person who is dying, his personality will be still lingering around, and once his span is done, he'll be depart from here, or I'm understanding wrong?
No, 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 no.
Mm.
See, you are talking about you are talking about his
Doer part.
no, you are talking
Uh,
about his purpose of life, right?
uh,
Okay. Now, if you look at purpose of life, okay, and this purpose of life, you have a timeline.
yeah, that's what it says. Breath count, right? In the sense.
Correct,
Mm.
yes, right?
Uh,
You have a timeline. Till the timeline is complete, okay? Till the timeline is complete, those chosen lessons are still active. It is not closed.
yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
When is it closed? Or when
When
it
it
is
is learned
progressing?
or gained
Exactly. That is the
information,
point
wisdom
he
of
is
it.
making. That is exactly the point he is making. Reread it after this thought, ma'am.
Oh, there is one where by committing, okay, from here, by committing suicide, one does not escape from the allotted span of life or from the sorrow, dread, pain, or disgrace he feared to endure by living on.
Okay.
Death by one's own hand is not like the ordinary case of dying. In the case of self-murder, the doer remains with the breath form in the radiant state of the physical plane, experiencing all it dreaded to meet in life. So he will remain as a breath form in the radiant state, isn't it? In the
Correct.
physical plane,
Correct.
going around as astral, experiencing all it dreaded to meet in life and does not go into the after death states until after the allotted span of life ends. That means the earthbound.
No, 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 no. I have been
Mm.
This
given
is where I
25
got
breaths.
confused.
No, no, I have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
given 25 breaths, okay, in this life. On the 17th breath,
He
I have
left.
exited. I have exited.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I will continue to exist as breath form here till my 25th breath is over.
That's what, where? On this earth plane. The
On
physical
this
plane,
earth plane in the astral world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he said with the breath form, he stays in the breath form in the radiant state of the physical plane.
Correct.
That is like earthbound souls.
Correct. Correct.
So
No,
until they meet
his soul is not even processed to the next state. On the physical
Yeah.
earth, he is not existing, but that doesn't mean he has gone into the other states.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why they're in between. They're in between. They're not, That's why we release that. In Unified also, we release some of the souls. Yes.
Correct.
In the life on earth, he will have the same inclination to commit suicide, but coupled with that will be a dreaded of it. In that life, he is liable to be murdered. In no case can he escape by suicide that which he feared to suffer. The conditions from which he sought escape will confront him again because they are exteriorizations of his own thoughts. The physical body is the fulcrum on which thoughts are balanced. It is without feeling, almost as dead in life as it is after death. Decay, impermanence, and corruption are almost synonymous with the human body. Decay, impermanence, and corruption are almost synonymous with the human body. It is the sediment of all the worlds, their dregs and lees. So what does it mean? I don't know. Decay, impermanence, and corruption are almost synonymous with the human body. It is the sediment of all the worlds, their dregs and lees. The doer during its life.
What this means.
Yeah.
Let us understand what this. In winemaking, dregs refers to the sediment or solids left behind after fermentation and aging, also known as lees, which are composed of dead yeast cells, grape solids, and tartarates. So this is basically the sediments of incomplete lessons.
Yes. Sediments of the incomplete
Bits
lesson.
and pieces. Yeah. The doer during
the
its life on earth. Yeah.
The doer during its life on earth feels and desires through
such a body.
And after death, it is confronted with what it has felt and desired through the body during life. The activity and vigor, the breath and life of the body are due to the presence of the doer. Okay. The activity and vigor, the breath and life of the body are due to the presence of the doer. The involuntary functions of the body continue only as long as the doer and its breath form inhabits it. What seems to be a lasting body is a moving mass constantly changing, always coming and going, and held in visibility only while it is in passage through the shape of the astral body according to the breath form. So what seems to be a lasting body is a moving mass constantly changing, always coming and going, and held its visibility only while it is in passage through the shape of the astral body according to the breath form. So
Correct.
that means that
I didn't get this part. Like is he saying that the soul just exits out of the body and just the mass is remaining because he's not being aligned?
Let us read it again. Good question. The activity and vigor, the breath and life of the body are due to the presence of the doer. Correct. Doer in the physical body. The involuntary function of the body continue only as long as the doer and its breath form inhabit it.
yes, until
What
that it is
seems to
yeah.
be correct? What seems to be a lasting body is a moving mass, constantly changing, always coming and going, and held in visibility only while it is in passage through the shape of the astral body, according to the breath form. Okay. Now, what was the question, Kirti?
My question
Eh,
was,
hmm.
he is talking about physical form still, not about the exiting this world, right? First, I want to
No,
clarify
no,
that.
no, no, no.
Huh.
He is talking about the life, the breath, life, and body are due to the presence of the. So, as long as the doer
Hmm.
is available, these changes are going to be physical.
In general, it is not with the suicide case.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What is the lasting body then? Once the breath form, the doer in the body leaves the body, what happens
Hmm.
to it? Everything is becoming a pattern, correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
So, what seems to be a lasting body is a moving mass constantly changing, always coming and going and held in visibility. When is it visible? Only while it is in passage through the shape of the astral body according to the breath form. That means when it is getting exteriorized.
Hmm.
Only then it is visible. Otherwise, it is not visible.
Right.
So that is what he is saying. So answering your question, the answer is only when it is in the physical realm, it is exteriorized. Otherwise, it is still
Just carrying that pattern and moving along until its
exactly. Yeah, correct, correct.
physical form is formed. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Now he is
A,
explaining that in the next para. I think.
a human body, however,
Hmm,
is the thing on which all is set, around which all turns, upon which all that the doer the doer longs for and hopes to have or to be is centered. Let me read again. A human body, however, is the thing on which all is set, around which all turns, upon which all that the doer longs for and hopes to have or to be is centered. Though a human body has no permanence or existence in itself, by means of it, the doer is put into touch with the matter of the worlds and even of the spheres.
hmm.
So even though he doesn't have a permanent body in itself by means of the doer, but still he is put in touch with the matter of the worlds and spheres. That's what
No,
he's
no,
saying.
no, 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 no. See, first understand this. A human body upon which all the doer longs for. That means human body is the canvas on which all exteriorization is taking place.
Yes.
Okay, right? However, so no, it's just the canvas, right? Though a
Yes.
human body has no, it is not a permanent entity. By means of it, the doer is contacting the worlds and all the spheres and all that.
Mm.
Okay, so where is the confusion? For all
So,
this to happen, whatever we have read, there is a need for a human body. Okay. Now,
yeah,
human body is not permanent,
yes,
but it is required for you to, it is required by the doer to put you in contact with the whole thing. Let's read further what he is saying there. By means
further
of
he
such a body,
By means of such a body, the doer takes form, learns what its feelings and desires are, and how to refine them, and what the feelings of others are, and how to feel with them. By means of this body, the doer learns how to think. Okay, basically, getting body and experiencing all this.
exactly,
Yeah.
correct. So the entire canvas of his thoughts exteriorizing is the physical body.
Yes. Correct. That is what he says, centered on that. Yeah.
Correct.
The subject of money and what has monetary value deserves special attention. The possession and the lack of money create today the thousands and one conditions through which the ways of destiny lead. Independence, servitude, fatigue, checks on development, choice of associates, power, opportunity, duty, most of the innumerable predetermined aspects of life in the world are related to money. Everybody needs money. It is proper that everybody should have some. Indeed, one of the tests of a good government is that all people under it should have the opportunity to earn enough for food, clothes, and shelter. Beyond these needs, some wants are justifiable according to the position of a man holds in the world. If one has no wife or children, less is needed. But the thought of a man go beyond and demand not only what would be sufficient for their needs and reasonable wants, they want money for luxury and display for power over others, and some want money for money's sake. However, much they may have, they still want more. Often money, after it has been acquired, has little value. It will not buy health, honor, self-respect. It cannot buy love nor life, nor independence, ease or knowledge. True independence is what money should help to bring, and little that. Though independence varies with one's position and work in the world, little money is needed to establish it. Cares, troubles, and intrigues surrounds those who desires more than enough. Money does not enlarge the range of independence. Happiness within and assurance without is what all men want, but life never gives them. The nearest approach is independence, however modest it be. Money is one of the smallest requirements. The less one needs and the less he wants from the money god, the more independent that one is.
Money is also a god in his terminology.
Yeah, Lakshmi Devi, the money god. Let's go down, like one more page down. Okay, the money god. The money god is a powerful earth spirit created, kept alive, and given his power, like other gods, by the worship of doer portions in human bodies. Under this great earth god are little money gods. Oh, under this great earth god are little money gods, special deities for each of the worshippers. Each little money god in the heart and on the earth is nourished by the worshipper and stands for the great god. The individual gods pass the worship on to the composite great god. So basically, he's saying, he's treating like a god and god, This one, in turn, through the hierarchy, aids his worshippers in obtaining money, in avoiding losses, in helping them into successful enterprises and lucrative positions, or in keeping them out of financial disasters. But this God cannot give health, comfort, what is it? Esteem,
Or esteem.
nor
No, no,
love
no. Or esteem.
or esteem. Okay, sorry. Comfort or
Typo.
esteem. Yeah, sorry. Not, yeah, correct. And nor love, cheer, or hope, nor can it give protection in the end when destiny cannot be held back. That's right. God cannot give all of these comforts. Often a worshipper, having obtained the money, worships other gods and uses the money to gratify other desires which his wealth permits. The money god is tolerant while he holds the first place in the heart. But if the new worship, such as that of voluptuousness, I don't know what is this.
Voluptuousness. Yeah. No, no. Voluptuous,
Uh,
they say, right? He has added ness to that. Gorgeous,
uh,
voluptuous, and all that. Yeah.
Okay, voluptuousness, drunkenness, ambition interferes. He is a jealous god and revenges himself not only by the loss of money, but by the loss of the things that the money had brought. Poverty reveals. So that means, when he is not using it properly, it works against him.
No, not only that, what he's saying here is money god is very powerful on earth, but it has got a particular purpose. Don't exceed that purpose.
Yeah, when he keeps holding without, spending wisely.
Correct.
Poverty reveals he who is born in poverty, who feels at home in poverty and makes no effort to overcome his poverty, is a feeble, indolent, and ignorant person who has done little in the past and so has little in the present. So he is he was thinking of that all the time, but that is why he is born in that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The present experience is this. Where is this?
He will be driven
Okay.
by.
Sorry. Yeah, he will be driven by hunger and want, or be brought by love of those dependent upon him to work as the only escape from the dull treadmill of poverty. He who is born in poverty with ideals, talents, or high ambitions may be one who has ignored physical conditions and spent his energies in dreaming and in castle building. He who suddenly suffers reversals of fortune may be the one who in the past has deprived others of their property or who has neglected to protect his own. So that means he who suddenly suffers reversals of the fortune may be the one who in the past has deprived of others of their property or who cheated or who has neglected to protect his own. The present experience is a lesson necessary to make him feel the physical want and suffering which loss of property brings and to make him sympathize with others who experiences it. Or the loss of fortune may be required by destiny as a check on developing tendencies or as preparation for other work.
So this is a skill set required. That is why he becomes poor.
Yeah, it is required by destiny. Possession of wealth. The possession of wealth is the result of work or worship in the present or in the past life. Physical labor, intense desire, worship of the money god, and continual of thought are the means by which the money is obtained. Upon the predominance of any one factor will depend the amount. The unskilled laborer in field, mine, or shop who uses little thought and does not carefully direct his desire must work hard and long to earn enough for a scanty existence. With more intense desire and more thought, the laborer becomes skilled and is able to earn more. When money itself not merely food, clothing, and shelter, it is the object of desire, thinking provides the means by which it may be obtained. Then wider fields are sought where provides the means where money is to be made and greater opportunities are seen and taken advantage of. So when he thinks of that, then the wider fields are sought where money is to be made and greater opportunities are seen and taken advantage of. So he should have that thinking to get,
No, when
better.
money itself, not that of survival, is the object of desire, thinking of desire,
Provides,
thinking provides
yeah,
the means by which it may be obtained. Then
yeah,
wider fields are sought. That means not your existence. You are going in for where money
yeah,
is to be made and greater opportunities are seen and taken advantage of.
so that means beyond your survival, you have to have higher thoughts,
No.
isn't it?
When money is being sought beyond your basic needs, you have to look
Yeah,
for
that's
other avenues. That's what is.
yeah. To obtain vast sums of money, a man must have made money the chief object of his life and have sacrificed other interests to the worship of the money god. When he has paid the price in worship, the money god will put him in touch with other men having the same aims, whom he will be able to use in getting the money he craves, or the money god will put him into a position where he can levy directly or indirectly upon a multitude, as in the case of tax eaters, bondholders, army contractors, government builders, or franchise owners.
So
So he
he
will
may
put
become
in,
those people.
yes.
Okay.
Sometimes the money does not come soon, but then it comes in another life in the shape of inheritance, good fortune, gifts, what is sinecures? I don't know what it, or
Sinecures
pension,
or pensions. Okay, other
or
yeah.
yeah,
So
good fortune or
let us look
pensions
at
with,
let's look at the dictionary meaning of this. A position requiring little or no work, but giving the holder status or financial benefit. Okay.
okay. So all these he gets without present work or worship because of
He is
the
not
past
getting
deed.
it free. Basically, he is again repeating, saying that based on the work
Yeah.
that you have executed, the thoughts that you have executed, manifestation could happen. Again, the three conditions.
Yes, even when he had all this in the previous life, it manifests in the next life.
Correct. No, and whatever he has worked for in the previous life also could probably happen now.
Yes.
So that is what he is
Yeah.
talking about. Sometimes the money does not come soon, but
Yeah.
then it comes in
In
another
another,
life. Yeah.
yes. In the shape of inheritance, or yeah. Yet such things do not happen except for the work and worship of the past. According to the right or wrong use of money, will one suffer or enjoy what money brings? Okay. When money is the chief object of one's existence, he is unable to enjoy fully the physical things which its use can provide, and money
Correct.
makes him indifferent to the wrongs he does, deaf to the sorrows of others, and careless of his own true needs. So when he doesn't when he doesn't care for others, he doesn't enjoy.
Correct.
Money, again, is the nemesis, which is the close and constant companion of those who pursue it. So, one who finds pleasure in the hunt for money continues the hunt until it becomes a mad chase. Frequently, the long hours of thought and labor required to amass his riches have ruined his health, and he dies a discontented man. So he keeps working only for money, but without
Correct.
satisfaction.
Correct.
Money may open up other sources of misery to the money worshipper. He may use his money in ostentation or vice. He often neglects his children
Ostentation. No, ostentation. Show.
to show off. Or to show.
Yeah.
Okay. ostentation, or vice. He often neglects his children and leaves them to be cared for by others. It may be noticed that insanity and degeneracy are frequent among the idle and luxurious offsprings of the rich. In their
Hmm.
turn, these degenerate children are the money worshippers of other days.
Hmm.
The love of money drew them into a rich family, but money is now a curse.
Hmm.
Yes, we see that. Yes, like a princess and prince families, kids. Different from the future of the mere miser or dollar
No,
hunter
no.
is
The
that
title, The Born Thief.
the born thief. The born thief, the different from the future of the mere miser or dollar hunter is that of those who are unscrupulous and dishonest in the acquisition of money. So they are not
Hmm.
honest in acquiring the money. The lot of successful users, what is this? Yeah, engrossers of necessaries, sellers of adulterated food, schemers, promoters, and floaters of financial bubbles is in the future that of a common thieves or
Does
robbers.
this mean usurper?
Ushers, ushers, yeah, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to find out. A person who lends money at unreasonably high rates of interest.
Yeah.
So the born
Person,
thief, see, who is a born thief? Different from the future of the mere miser or dollar hunter is that of those who are unscrupulous and dishonest in acquiring or acquisition of money. It's not a miser or somebody. Okay. The lot of successful usurers, that is the one who pawns, who does the pawnbroking, right? Engrossers of necessaries, sellers of adulterated food, schemers, promoters and floaters of financial bubbles is in the future that of common thieves and robbers, right? So those are the characteristics of these robbers.
so all these people, they come under robbers.
Correct. What is he adding? Persons who individually or as members of privileged classes obtain through force or corruption special privileges to the injury of others are legalized robbers.
So in
These
any kind of corruption.
correct. So these characters of thieves and oppressors, which they develop, will find their true expression later when they are exteriorized.
So in the next life, they go through, circumstances, destiny. Then, without the cover of legality, money, station, or influence, they are born as rogues and complain of the injustice of their lot. The
Yeah.
born thief,
Just wait,
Sheila.
There is a question. Yeah, Sheila.
Yeah.
So Chandra sir, like, so now we are talking about like it's bad for the pawnbrokers, blah blah. But there's like in India they have the Khandani thing, right? They're Khandani in North, and I know some Marwadis and some Baniyas. They call their whole the whole what do you call that, casteism is Baniyas only, right? So their kids and kids and kids, maybe some now have gone with their other education. So will that also affect, like, even if he's just following the regular market value interest rate and all, so will that whole generation be will have to suffer, or
No. See, when somebody falls into the category of taking unscrupulous means to achieve their wealth.
Yeah, dishonest.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
Oh.
only those.
okay.
See,
They
for
become
example,
they are all born thieves.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's not like if it is their profession, like Marwadis, so many Marwadis I know they have, even there in Bangalore I see so many Marwadis, they have pawn shops and everything. So it's not so is it like a crime like they are doing, or
No. If they do it and then use it for extortion and all that, I don't
okay.
care. You give me my interest at any cost.
Yeah, okay.
not only that, Andy, people, they take, advantage of these rickshaw pullers. They give
Yeah,
high interest, even though they cannot repay. I mean, they're poor. They
right.
demand.
Yeah,
In that case, it is not fair. See, it depends
right.
upon. Otherwise, when they do for their earning, for their life, it is like a bank.
Yeah,
So
It
like
is
as
like
here
long
a
they
as
are
bank.
Jews.
It is like a bank. Even bank will charge interest.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
those who say, you want it, I will exploit your situation,
Mhm.
then I am not doing it properly.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
He
Okay,
is
where are
now,
we? He is now paying the debts which he then incurred, whether he was a pilfering servant, a pickpocket, a common spoiler, a robber baron, a tax eater, a food engrosser, a bribe taker, or any other kind of a cheat or fraud. Whether his acts were labeled as crime or not, they were dishonest. That was enough. See, that's what clearly he's saying. As long as it something dishonest, then he will go through. So if
see,
he
the
has had,
other way to read this is, right?
mm,
In your karma and your this one, you have got two triangles superimposing each other.
mm,
There is physical, there is spiritual. Correct? So
the
the
lessons to
laws of, yeah. So the laws that are applicable in grading the physical and the spiritual is two different entities. Morally, it may be wrong, but spiritually, it may be right, and vice versa. Okay.
yes.
So you need to understand that. Whether
See,
you
you need to
label
have,
it as, see, in the physical world, I may label something as ethical or unethical,
mm,
right? But
spiritually different.
spiritually different. You have been dishonest or not. For example,
Yes.
right? In real life,
Mm,
you save somebody,
mm,
right? Someone is being followed to be eliminated, and you happen to be asked, have you seen him? You tell a lie. Morally, it may be ethical. You have saved a life. But spiritually, you have disabled the karmic experience that he wanted to go through. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and also it all depends upon the situation and also interference. How far you can interfere.
Situation and all that, that change is applicable only in the physical world, not in the spiritual world. That is the point he is highlighting. Whether his acts were labeled as a crime or not,
Okay.
they
They were
were
dishonest.
dishonest. That was enough.
Correct. See, that is why if a pawn shop broker or somebody, for the money earning purpose, if he gives high interest rate to a poor person, Even though he thinks he's doing his job, but it is not right as spiritually.
Correct. So there are
He's
two
taking
laws that we are subjected to every time.
Yes.
Yeah. If he has
So the
had the
physical,
character of a thief,
yeah, if he has had the character of a thief, that character eventually becomes externalized physically. When he is in the born thief who never had a chance, he is marked outlawed, convicted, and caged as a rogue. The physical
Hmm.
suffering which one may have caused, the poverty which he may have brought to others by outwitting them or by depriving them of their property, must all in turn he suffered by him. So
correct.
he has to go
That
through.
is what is
Yeah.
important. That is the only thing that is applicable. Yeah.
There is no accident of wealth or inheritance. One who overvalues the pleasures and indulgences which money can buy and uses his money to procure these, they must be without money at some time and feel the need of it. So even overvalues or the over pleasures and indulgences also, it causes the misuse of
Because
money
of
brings
this,
poverty. Yeah. The right use of money brings independence and honest wealth. Money properly procured gives physical conditions for comfort, enjoyment, and work for self and others. One who is born of honorable and wealthy parents or who inherits money has earned it by his thoughts and actions. There is no accident of wealth or of inheritance by birth. So there
correct.
is no accident of wealth or inheritance by birth. So he had all these thoughts and deeds before
It is an
he was born.
exteriorization of all these.
Yeah. Group destiny. Group destiny is a destiny which affects alike a certain number of people. Their thoughts have made that destiny for them. Members of a family have a certain destiny in common. They have the same ancestry, traditions, and honor. They are related to a locality and share to a certain extent the social and cultural connections. Often, their common destiny is the lack of all this except locality and ancestry. Sometimes, similar physical features appear among the members of a family and are designated as hereditary. In some families, the members continue to be reborn through several lives. They receive what they have given to the family name and standing or have allowed to happen to it. Okay, they receive what they have given to the family name and standing or have allowed to happen to it. Group
Correct.
destiny
That
may
means,
affect.
no. What you deliver to the family, he will come back to you. In the case of a group destiny.
Group destiny may affect the members of a family for 1 or 2 generations only, or it may extend through centuries. People are drawn into a family and kept there by similarity of thought. As long as that similarity lasts, the family is held together. Formerly, land ownership with the entail or the mere living in a locality was the means of establishing and perpetuating a family. That means businesses. Businesses
No, it
come
could
into
be
this.
businesses, it could be family traditions.
Yeah.
All
In modern
those. Yeah.
In modern times, the thought has changed and land is no longer the chief means of continuing a family. Sometimes mutually hostile thoughts draw people into the same family and its group destiny. Persons share in the group destiny, that is, the physical conditions of their community because their thoughts had or have something in common. These bring them into the same hamlet or town with common conditions and interests. Though the separate destinies in such communities vary, there is some bond of common thought that draws persons into and keeps them in the locality. There they have a common language, physical environment, neighborhood, customs, and pleasures. There they intermarry and there meet a common fate in times of prosperity, adversity, epidemic, fire, inundation, or war. So
Correct.
same village, they keep on living
No,
in
no,
that same village.
see, it is aligned thoughts. In English, the saying group birds of a feather flock together, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what one is by virtue of their birth into the same family, where their destiny is dictated by what they have given to the family that they need to experience back. The second category is those that have come together and created a community.
Hmm. Correct.
Okay.
It is like in small villages, same thing happens. The whole family, they live and
No, all of you in Dallas, let us say all of you in Texas.
yeah.
Okay. There are the common thoughts pertaining to that environment which have made you settle down there.
Hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
And you have created, like all of us, somewhere we have been in the past associated with these pyramid energies. Okay. And we
Yes.
have come together. Today, earlier the propagation was physical. Today, with the technologies coming in place, we have become virtual.
Hmm. Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So what each person receives in a common disaster is an exteriorization of his own past thoughts. So even common disaster also, okay. If the common fate does not coincide with the cycle of any thought of those present in such a locality, they escape. So anything, okay, got it. So it is
Again,
that
no, again here, he is reiterating the three conditions.
yeah, place, time, and condition. Yeah. Correct.
So,
See, like
if the
tsunami.
common fate does not coincide with the cycle of any thought of those present in such a locality, they escape.
See, either fire or tsunami that affected in some villages in few 10 years, 15 years ago. Some people suddenly they left the day before. When some people arrived the same day, they got hit by that.
Correct. They landed there to undergo that experience, which is part of their plan.
Yes, because the whole even
Yes.
hotels now they left. They went into the water. Yes.
Correct. Correct.
So that there are miraculous exceptions from the general fate when many are brought together and made to suffer, as in a shipwreck, a burning theater, a collapsing building, a flood, or in religious or political persecutions. Okay. People are born into a nation or race because their thoughts and the disposition and character made by them draw them there. They make the general spirit, character, peculiarities, and tendencies of the race and develop, strengthen, or change them.
Correct.
Develop and strengthen and change them. So, because of their thoughts to the environment, that country and environment, people are born into a. Yeah, this is done. The people make the spirit, which is the god of the race, they create it by their thought. It breathes through the representatives of that race. Hence comes indifference towards or prejudice against those who do not belong to or who oppose the national spirit. All who think similarly are drawn to the spirit and are eventually born into the same race, where
they share
they share its group destiny to the extent to which their thoughts can be exteriorized at the time, condition, and place.
correct.
Generally, the people who are of any race belong there naturally by the degree of development of their doers and bodies. Some, however, are born into a race to get special training. Some because they have persecuted the race, some because they are entitled to special benefits from it, and some because they have to do a certain work for it. All share the group destiny.
Correct. So these are all the categories that form a group.
Correct.
So if all
At
of
the
you
time-
are part of groups which is working on the pyramids in their respective locations, then there is some contribution that you have to make there.
Yes.
It could be
the
physical,
time-
monetary, it could be effort, it could be anything.
Yeah, not only that, people who immigrated to this country, and also they are contributing at different ways.
Correct.
Yeah, same way. At the time of an
Yeah.
unusual calamity, as in periods of famine and defeat in war, oppression by a hostile nation, uprisings and lawlessness, outsiders are there to share the group destiny. Okay, even on the other side also, they are going to share the group destiny, calamities and all, lawlessness.
No, all
These
these are
outsiders-
experiences. It is not other side. It is the same side.
Yeah. So unusual calamities also, if all these,
Correct.
whatever happens, they go through together.
Nice. Like
As a-
we say, he just landed the same day and tsunami happened.
Yes.
Right? He is so unlucky. He is not unlucky. That is the way he had decided his life.
Yes. These outsiders are born into a race as naturally as those who belong to it, so as to be there at the time when these disasters happen. See, these outsiders are born into a race naturally as those who belong to it, so as to be there at the time when these disasters happen. So that wherever that, either the fire or earthquake, whatever, what happens, their destiny is to be there at that time.
Correct.
They have exteriorized to them through the public calamity what they have attracted to themselves by their own thoughts. The same is true of those doers who come in to participate in a period of achievement, refinement, and splendor. Other way. Rise and fall of a nation. The rise or fall of a nation is due to a particular thought which becomes the national thought. The same thought that is exteriorized in the power and greatest achievement of a nation is often the cause of its decline, fall, and disappearance. A set of people generates the thought and develops it. Others are drawn in by the similarity of their thoughts and aid in the building of a nation through the exteriorization of its dominating thought. Some thoughts are powerful enough to keep a nation up for centuries before it is given over to inferior doers or sinks away or is effaced. The complete disappearance of people like Carthaginians, the Egyptians, or the ancient Greeks is evidence that at the crucial times there were not enough people to give to the national thought a new impetus that would carry on the nation through the accumulating exteriorizations of its past thoughts. So there are not enough people to hold that upright,
Correct.
positive thoughts. There is a time, and its span does not exceed 50 years, in which every nation might have disappeared as a political entity under the weight of its destiny. The thoughts of every nation, whether it be a republic or a monarchy, are the collective thoughts of its people. If these thoughts are and have been in the past directed towards individual advantage or public conquest, to deceit or oppression, they are exteriorized in public calamities. So even in the past, towards the individual advantage or public conquest, to deceit or
Correct.
oppression also, it happens, public calamities. These thoughts would make an end of the political entity as a state. but nearly always there is someone who has broader vision and creates a new thought or a new feeling or a modification of those which exist. In this, he is assisted by some of the complete triune selves who watch and help the world. So, in such circumstances, complete triune selves they help the world. Thus,
No,
the
because
nation gets
they don't have a flexibility of doing something otherwise. They are
Yeah, they don't
guided by the collective thoughts.
Yes, yeah, they're not supposed to interfere unnecessarily. Yes. Thus, the nation gets over the critical period. Of course, no one man alone could save a nation. There must be a sufficient number of persons who support the regenerating thought. And if they can obtain a preponderance of thought, the nation goes on, otherwise it declines. Men are self-indulgent and act with selfish ends in view. To acquire and increase possessions, to have personal comfort and safety, and to wield to power are the motives of their thoughts. So basically, men are their self-indulgence and selfish. Treason and evasion of military duty in war, monopolies, tax dodging, and special privileges in peace are extreme cases. And almost everyone is interested in public matters only to the extent of the personal advantages he expects. Men seek little favors here and big gifts there, knowing that they will profit thereby at the expense of the public or of justice. Almost everyone adds to the general tendency towards corruption in public institutions. Some persons are active under the sting of selfish interest. Most are indolent and inert from love of ease. There are many men who would be good officials, but they are not available. The people do not appreciate and will not uphold a just official, but they forsake him and leave him a disappointed man. So they do not get the best men, and if they do get well-interested men, they usually force them to protect themselves by compliance or by corruption. Therefore, public officials in monarchies, oligarchies, and democracies are, let's go
As
down,
bad as they are.
They are the representatives of the people. In them, the thoughts of the people have taken form. Those who are not in office would do as the present officials do, or even worse, if they had the opportunity. Corrupt officials can hold office and in sinecures only so long as the thoughts of the people are depraved. Cruel barons could oppress the people only as long as the majority of the people, if they had been in the baron's place, would have done as the barons did. Despots have lived only because they embodied the ambitions and desires of the people over whom they ruled. So, okay, say the Catholic Inquisition to suppress Hershey existed as long as it expressed the thoughts of the people. When the thoughts of the people demand a change for the better, a man usually appears to fight for it. He expresses their thoughts, but usually they forsake him when his actions need their support. When it is a question of choice between the public interest and their private interest, the private interest prevails. Usually those who complain of misrule, taxes, extortion, or other injustice would themselves be guilty of such wrongs if only they could commit them with impunity. The persons in power, whether in a despotism or in democracy, are those who can discern and use human weaknesses and at the same time have more vigor and are willing to take more risks than the multitude.
So we'll stop here. So what is he saying? Basically, your physical destiny, the ecosystem of the good experiences, bad experiences are not accidents. They are not anything else but the thoughts that are getting exteriorized today in short and
So
long.
you created in the
You
past.
created those realities. And this is how it works. That is the point he is making right. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear, not clear?
Yeah, to me it is clear.
That is important. We generally tend to forget that. Don't go there. That's what he is trying to tell us. Yeah? Anybody? Anything to share?
So on the lighter side, when I say that it is clear, I am signing off my ability to blame someone.
No, you. Yes,
Yeah.
you are taking ownership. Be it as a group or as an individual, you are taking ownership. Right.
See, that is why whomever we vote, they are our leaders. After electing, if he is not doing a job, what we were thinking, we complain.
Correct.
Yes.
That is true. Yeah. Okay. Chalo.
So
Yeah.
one thing. Hi, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one question. It's not a question. Like 1.5 years ago, I tried to move my project. I tried to change my project. I tried to move to a different team, but even though I had tried hardly, but I couldn't. But now I got the opportunity with little effort or less effort. I would say like. What does it mean? I would say like it's part of the plan or.
See, if it is to make money, if you need it, you should consider it part of the plan. See, the plan has got certain milestones,
Okay.
whereas your free will can superimpose that plan and bring about changes. There is no harm. Always remember, our purpose of life is to lead a happy and complete life.
Right.
Now, doing anything which is going to be righteous and has the right kind of reason, there is nothing that will get transformed to a karmic influence which will manifest at a later. Okay. So it's absolutely fine. You don't have to read every single instance in life.
Okay.
Okay. That's fine. Always look at all these things not as challenges but as opportunities to learn something new. That is the
Correct.
underlying message right through.
Okay.
Good.
So Nagendra, you are in Dallas, isn't it? You are the one here.
Yeah, we
local,
met. Yeah. Yeah,
we
I met
met.
Dallas. Yeah.
See, baby, we have a purpose working for this project, a pyramid project, and
Yeah, I believe so.
No,
Yes.
that could be one experience. That may not be the all of it. Okay,
yeah,
suppose
one
you
of
are getting that and you don't need that extra money that you are getting or that extra opportunity that you are getting, contribute it to
No, yeah, I'm not getting extra money, but the same company. Only project is different. The same money.
So
Only
look
thing,
at
no
it, look
work.
at it from two
Yeah.
perspectives. What have I learned in my old one? What am I going to learn in the new one should be the approach.
Correct, correct. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, just checking. I mean, a year ago or 2 years ago, I tried hardly to change the project, but for some reason,
You are not ready.
yeah,
See, you will consider it as you are not ready. That is why you didn't get it.
okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Any other comment? Otherwise, we end it for today.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I want to share.
Yeah, Chandra, welcome.
So my experience has been is like lately, the moment I learned the lesson, immediately things changed for me. One example, like I was given a project where it was a very small budget, nothing, one line's requirement, which ended up being like getting data from 20 plus data sources. And the person was so mean, was extremely rude. And then rather than me getting angry, I felt, oh my God, he has so much of pain in him.
Hmm.
And the next thing I know is like the project got they completely put it on hold. And it's not even being done this year. This happened last year.
Hmm.
So the moment I felt that compassion for that person, that's it.
You have finished. You have finished your lesson.
Exactly. And then prior to that, there was another person, very good. He is almost retirement age, but the energy that he has is so much. But still, he still looks for validations, and also he's always trouble. Like, doesn't matter if I have like managing 3 different systems, he needs attention all the time.
Hmm.
Same thing happened that he unnecessarily created a problem. And just when okay, what happened? I thought he was joking. I just said he deployed something, so I thanked him. The next day, another person from another team, from the same team, who's actually reporting to him, said, "Okay, my job is done." So when I was communicating to everyone, saying, "Oh, thank you, so and so. Now you can continue with your work."
Hmm.
This guy got so angry. So, so only he did the work I didn't do? I thought at this age, at this level of experience, the person I'm thanking is actually reporting to him. So I thought it was a joke. So I thought, oh, okay, all right, to be politically right. Thank you. You too, yes. That's it. Next thing I get is I get a call and he started blasting me. And so what I just did is like, okay, I listened to him and I said, oh, I apologize. Okay. Because for me, it was first of all, at that level of his career, he shouldn't look for validations for, oh, good job. But still, I listened to him carefully and I said, oh, I apologize. That's it. In 2 or 3 days, because I was supposed to be temporary in that, but it went on for like 6, 7 months. In a couple of days, it's like, okay, you already have too much. We have the new guy, let him take over. And I was out. And time and again, like even just recently, it's happening so fast. The moment I say, okay, done, either that person moves out or I move out.
No, see, that is where we have the guidance.
Yeah. If when you fight it, you continue to remain.
No, because you are not learning, no. The moment
Yes.
you are
Lessons learned, move on. Lessons learned, move on.
no. Lessons learned, the moment, right, you catch that instance through your awareness. I have learned this lesson. the lesson would have undergone a change in its dimension.
Mm.
Your learning is not complete, or that opportunity will close completely. That's over. You are into something else. Right?
The new lesson.
That is why probably in the olden days they used to say anything that happens for good.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, it's a beautiful experience, Chandraji. Yeah.